Hello, traders, and welcome to the weekend update here for the weekend of September 7th. So I'm a little late in getting this out today for two reasons. Reason number one is I did want to wait and see how the futures markets opened. After the big sell-off on Friday, you never quite know, where the futures are going to open Sunday evening. So I did want to see that. I'll show you that in a moment. Seems like that's not telling us anything right at this moment. Second reason is I think those of you that have been around a while know there's been some issues with mom and getting her care, and this is her first 2 days in a care facility, and she's having a tough time with it. So I stopped by to see her and ended up in some conversations for the last 2 hours. So all ended relatively well, but it's still, of course, a challenge and an adjustment as it would be for anyone. So anyhow, getting into our current position. So the first thing is one position was closed out this week. That was this diagonal. This thing closed out in a 6-day time frame, up 14%, about $315. So that position is closed out, will be moved to the closed trade archives. And then these trades are currently open. So these all started life as various forms of broken wing butterflies. This one has actually been moved down twice now, as I recall, maybe even a third time, but all that's in the circle. Those of you that are members can go into that circle and you can see every transition that took place. Of course, the trade, the video that went along with it, with the explanation as to why I did what I did. So this one's been rolled down, and while it's down a little bit, this is in a good position. It's got plenty more downside that it can move without taking too much heat. And if we do get a release in volatility and or the market moves back up, we don't have much upside risk on it. And that little bit of upside risk would be relatively easy to adjust out. So I like this position even though it's currently down. Now, this position, I like this position as well, but I will tell you I don't believe this is going to be a valid P&L number. I think this is probably just because of the wide bid-ask spreads after market. I think tomorrow morning when the market opens, we're going to see this, probably close to break even, maybe up a little, down a little, but somewhere right in there. I think the same is true here. This is not going to be up $580 unless, if our market opens up a little bit and we get a little decrease in volatility here, this could be up that amount of money quickly. If that does happen in either case, I will be looking to float in order to start to thin some of these if that opportunity arises. But just know that I don't think this one is probably down quite that much, and I don't believe these are up that much either once the market opens and we get real-time data flowing. So just wanted to kind of give that little caveat. Then as far as the market, let's take a look at the market now. So our futures opened right here at about 54.07. They're up about 17 points now. So that's not a big move one way or the other. But I'm glad to see that they didn't open down significantly from there. I didn't expect them to, but you just never know. So I just kind of wanted to wait and see how those did in fact open. Now let's take a look at, I'm going to look at VIX first. And let me come back here to daily charts. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. I'm in Southern California. It's been 105 to 110 every day here recently. And we've got thunderstorms going out there right now and a little rain falling. So kind of exciting. Although that little rain just makes a hot, sticky mess for the time being because the rain hits the pavement and instantly dries. It's so hot. But anyhow, looking at VIX, so VIX is certainly up, but on Friday, it didn't really break to new highs. It poked its head above the old high for a minute and then came back. So the fact that we were off 100 points, but yet VIX didn't elevate, is a signal that some of the downside move may be over at this point. Again, of course, no guarantees on that, and news can certainly drive that, but right now it looks like the fear in the market, at least temporarily, has subsided a little bit. So let's come in and look at SPX itself now. So, that probably about 2 weeks ago, I put this note on here, expecting a bit of a resistance in that area. And that has held out now. That was resistance, and we did sell off. Right here, where we closed on Friday, that looks like kind of a logical support area. We had this gap up here, pull back right down to the gap, pull back right down to the gap, took off, pulled down to the gap, bounced, did finally break through, and then finally rallied back through, but now we're right back to that same point. So this 5,400 could hold a little bit. It may be a support area. I wouldn't call it the strongest support area. And it also wouldn't surprise me if we dropped a little bit further down here to around the 5330 range. I do believe that this other zone down here is likely a stronger support zone. Even if we do rally off of this location, I wouldn't be totally surprised if we rallied up here to the 55.50 and then came all the way back down here to 53.23 or 53.30. I think that would be perfectly logical and wouldn't really change my overall opinion of the market. So those are a couple of the things that I'm looking at as potential happenings in the market here in the coming week. So it is a shorter session here today, but that's kind of the overview from my perspective. And I'll look forward to seeing those of you that are members in the community on Monday if we can thin any of those trades out for some profit. And look to maybe open a new one later this week, depending on how the market trades during the week. Those of you that might be seeing this on YouTube, if you're interested in knowing more about the community, I'll put a link down below so that you can click a link there. Click a link there, see more about how that works, the pricing of it, the fact that I put out a nice video with every trade opening, most adjustments explaining why and how I'm adjusting, and then the closing of the trade as well. So thanks so much, everyone. Take care.